Manda base. Muito querido dela. Desce, movique, tá pode. Vai pedindo, manda pra elas. Vem.
So, I got this comment about like, what is it? 4 days ago, after I made a comment about ARC passing away, right? I didn't want to make it a video about like 2 days, 3 days before it. So I'm like, let me wait a little couple days, right? So, your boy, Red Saints the Blue, wants to make a comment about me saying something about ARC's death, right? The same piece of shit dude who talk about passport men, the same dude who make content about red pill men, the same piece of shit dude who was in Aaron Fountain talking about I'm going to get to 100K talking about these fools. So you guys do grimy shit. You the type of dudes who think that you can fight dirty and your enemy isn't going to fight dirty as well. No. When the time is right, we'll fight dirty. And then we go back to being honorable so we don't have to use those tactics anymore. I do constructive criticism. See, when ARC was alive, dude constantly had a defense force of people who pretend like he knew it all. Also, he had a defense force of people who pretend like he was God, he was Godfather Daddy. So I made it a point of saying in multiple comment sections that he didn't live the life that he was telling other men to live. I couldn't purposely sit here and take advice from somebody who has a fucking gut and telling me to self-improve. Going off his... What the hell? Basically going off the fact that this dude didn't live the life that he's supposed to live. Right? Now, they say he was on dialysis or whatever. If the dude would stop worrying about pussy and cheating and fucking other people's wife, he would have still been here. Like I said before, Buddy took almost 50-something years just to go get a wife and have a fucking kid. But you're writing books on how to get women and how to approach women. If you were that good at approaching women and if you was that good at getting women in this kind of environment, you, don't matter what girl you got, you could control her. This nigga was full of shit, and that's the reason why his death wasn't surprising. Just like how I seen, piece of shit Brian Solange talking shit about passport men, calling people passport for pussy. And this dude, numbers are dwindling, right? This nigga tried to tell people to go to Sweden, the most feminist country, because we going into a nuclear holocaust. One of the dumbest things I ever heard somebody say. New Zealand, like let me just show this, right? Bro, that wasn't cool at all. Heavy disrespect. Don't put on your grievances on his death. Don't put my grievances on his death. You piece of shit. This the same piece of shit who made a video about tragedy that happened at Walmart and try to blame it on the manosphere. Every time there's a mass attack, they always try to put that shit on a manosphere. But I'm wrong now. My grievances is wrong. But you wasn't saying this when Kevin Samuels was when the women was saying all this shit. I seen this dude in every comment section, quote unquote, twerking for views. If I took the screenshots that I saw this dude doing, it would be flabbergasting. So let's show what he did. Let's show what this dude did and said. Right? See what he did. Let's see what he said. Okay.
Because it's like, okay, Elon Musk, reinstated Trump and all that, but people are still like, one of my, colleagues, Hypnotic, was recently banned on Twitter.
So remember, this the same dude who went on FemCells and exposed the fact this dude was committed in a mental facility, but he was telling people to go outside, right? The same tired trope, right? And I don't want to.
So it's kind of anybody with a manifesto got to be looked at suspect. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. But all right, let's see. New details ago that their child had changed their name because they were embarrassed by their father. All these people that have done these sorts of events, right? It's the same cycle, right? Broken homes, mental health issues, all this stuff, man. And again, what people seem to forget, or people, like to always look at, is mental health is one thing, but gun control is another. As if that's going to help anything, But, again, I digress. The video first reported by KDVR
Changed his name a few years ago to an entirely different.
This is what I'm saying. We all know the patterns and all of this, but yet nobody does anything about it. Oh, listen, okay, they called the police once or twice, and he's been called multiple times on it. So they knew. They all knew that this stuff was bound to happen at some point, but yet nothing about it was stopped. So I don't want to hear nothing about gun control and all that stuff.
You can't put people in jail based off assumptions, because then if you keep locking people up, basically other countries going to take advantage of that and basically make a campaign against it and be like, oh, y'all locking y'all citizens up for obvious reason. The reason why racism went down in the 1940s was basically there was a worser group out there that made Americans seem like, the racist Americans seem like they were choir boys, and it gave them an out from what they were doing to people. Even though they were still racist, some of the racist people saw what real racism looked like in the war, and some of them changed their tune. Some of them used that war, World War II, as a way to reform America, to pretend like they changed in racist policies. And there was tons and tons of laws after World War II, that changed the entire world. And then certain agendas was pushed out there for certain entities to gain power. Now, this is what happened. This is what's happening to general society. They're pretending like they're better than the people who do these things, even though they're just as bad as they are.
Knew do about this?
Yes. But as my experience with the FBI, coming out one of the dude's mouth, pretty much telling me that we don't have time to investigate people who are innocent. While the guy who investigated me thought he had a great case. Until he found out that I was in trade school at the time. And I wasn't online every single day. And I have everything to prove that I wasn't online every day. Only on the weekends. But when he seen the post, he didn't do due diligence, just like the rest of these idiots. And he thought that I was online all the time. So it made him look stupid. Probably demoted him. Or probably looked at him as a joke in the office. You didn't do your due diligence. You just thought that I was some loser online, not having a life or whatever. And you didn't see that I had a key card with my face on it. And when you went into the files in the school, everything that you thought that you knew, you see that I swiped in all the time when I was in trade school. So what this has happened now about these tragedies is that the FBI is swamped with new people all the time being on an FBI watch list because people like you, Super Sly, Reg the Bad Guy, and all these other dumb motherfuckers putting guys on lists. And when it doesn't pan out, they're going to have 15,000 men on a list being quote-unquote incels. And then they got 5 guys on a list that has guns or been called to the house and got mental issues. And 3 of those people pull off the mass shooters. Pull off mass events. And none of the people on the list that they have, the 15,000 men they supposedly so dangerous, none of them are actually doing anything at all. So y'all creating this shit where y'all repeating the same mistake that the FBI did back in the day in the 1930s, the 1920s, 30s, and no, the 1910s, 20s, and 30s, and I think a little bit of the 40s, when they were going after the Black Panthers and acting like the mafia wasn't a big threat. Until the mafia grew to a point where they had so much power, they rivaled the government back in the day, or rivaled some parts of the government, a small government, and they had to squash them. You're literally making a case where all the criminals, all the mental illness people that belong on a list, they're not being watched. While you're putting everybody, all these men on a list. So now you're creating more criminals and more crime. And things like this go through the cracks. But guys like you continue to make stupid ass videos for views and clicks and money. To make yourself feel good.
I think failing to leave out is, like, what else was this person... Although, yes, they said, the whole bomb threats and all that stuff, which I get, but... What else was this person accused of doing? What else on encyclopedia on ED? What was this person doing? You know what I'm saying? Because again, just asking questions. Just asking the questions that need to be answered.
So poke at the old man.
Fast forward to 2 days ago, Brink got a call from his son's defense attorneys telling him Aldrich was involved in a shooting at an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado Springs. Brink says he's a Mormon, and his first reaction was, why was my son at a gay bar?
Hey, Mormons don't do gay. We don't do gay. There's no gays in the Mormon church. We don't do gay.
I ran into Brink while he was unloading a...
Gun control's not going to help that. Just letting that be known.
Also blamed his parents for not paying attention to his social deficit.
Person in question, the suspect, did not... I got it. But the person in question, okay, did not have a criminal record, and when it came down to it, he did not have any prior mental health issues, but the mental health issues that he had were literally right there. Okay? Nobody came to his aid, but it's just like, look, listen, bro, I get it. People got to fight their own battles, but it's like, again, if he knew that his coworkers were harassing him and bullying him, again, should have stand up for himself or could have quit. Okay, I'm just saying from a standpoint.
And see, dickheads like you will tell guys to go outside and then tell him that he should have quit. Like, it's easy to get another job, especially when you put so much time in that job. So you're expecting that if somebody has a house, a mortgage, or rent, that they somehow is going to get a job in 30 days or get a new job that's going to pay just as much money as their other job in a quick succession and depend on the so-called market so he can recover. Yeah, that's a very good, from somebody like this dude who tell people to go outside and tell somebody to quit their job that they have been working at for a very long time, making money where they're comfortable at, and telling them to quit a job and throw away all of their work. You're not telling them a solution to go get another job. Like, the market where he's at is different. You think that he probably going to get paid the same? Or you forget that HR mostly is run by women. And you can make a case of trade school. But how can you get trade school when you have already pending bills? Should he have chosen a trade instead of working at a job? Yeah, he should have planned that.
All right, I'm just looking at it from a standpoint. If somebody's giving me crap and I'm the manager, I've walked out. Listen, bro. I have walked out of jobs because people were, being crappy to me.
Oh, so you're a fucking quitter. But you're the same dude who tell people to go outside. Nigga's a hypocrite, man. Fuck, man. So, here we go. So, bro, that wasn't cool at all. Heavy disrespect on your grievances on his death. So it's cool for you to talk shit about passport men, make videos about red pill men, Superside calling passport bros perverts. You dudes made over 10,000 videos talking shit about passport men, and y'all don't stop. You brag about red pill men, and you always on that disrespect. ARC talks shit about men not getting women, calling them incels, calling everyone who don't get like his books. Oh, wait. Calling everyone who don't like his books, you must be new. He talks shit to too many people on live streams. Y'all feed on men who say, oh my bad. I was writing too fucking fast. He talks shit to many people on live streams. Y'all feed on men who don't say shit about you. He made money off men who don't fit in and didn't want to, and made videos after videos thinking he knew about men and what they deal with. He should have took care of his damn self. He took care of himself, and don't talk about men and telling them to self-improve or go outside unless you paying them. Stop making videos off the backs of men. And he ain't have shit to say. Alright? Like, most of these motherfuckers are sitting here making money off of men's pain and off of men's downfall. It's a constant thing of oh yeah, I'm gonna keep talking about men because it's gonna make me money. It's gonna give me views. Ha 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 ha. I'm gonna get 100,000 or talking about these losers. And it's like, the fuck? So, this ain't the first time I ran into people like this. But the infamous woman in this picture, a few years ago on Facebook, this woman right here said that I had mental issues. When I found out that her and her daughter end up killing her entire family, I had to make sure that it was the same woman. And she was the same woman. It was therapeutic to see people who say you have mental issues themselves. It was extremely fun to see this kind of shit. It was tragic, somewhat, because what they did. But it was also therapeutic to know that these particular people always project their bullshit on other people. It was a confirmation that I had when I'm like, ARC passed away. But I thought he was self-improved. This guy talked heavy shit. Even before he passed away, he was just talking heavy shit. Instead of humbling himself, he didn't do not one thing about that. Dude had a straight gut every time he was talking on stage. But you trying to tell men what to do? Let's be real. Be real. It's the same thing that happened with what the his name is? Kevin Samuels. Remember he made fun of the guy and said that he has a small dick or whatever, a big dick or whatever. And he said the guy's fat. But now that guy get the last laugh. This ain't no purpose of laughing and dancing on somebody's grave. It's the fact is that your end result of your life showed that you wasn't living how you lived, and everything that you result in is you not seeing your own kids grow up. He never gonna see his kid grow up. And isn't it a sad thing? Yeah. But at the same time, the dude sealed his fate when he was doing a lot of shady shit. Who would have said that all that kidney problems was basically attached to the bad lifestyle he had, fucking other people's wives and girlfriends, and thinking his life was easy. All these books that he had didn't amount to shit when it comes down to his own life. All this shit that you talking, and it didn't reflect your real life. I mean, it didn't reflect it. It didn't reflect the real life. So it's like, how the I'm supposed to feel sorry for a dude who was constantly just talking absolute garbage about other men, thinking he knew it all. Even near the end, Buddy wasn't humble. If I know I was on death door, you will probably see the most kindest version of me you ever see. And I will apologize for all the shit that I said before I passed away so people can have a memory of me. A better memory of me. Instead, he he went off with his last video saying shit like this.
What was it about the Biedermann revolution that you liked? Well, he had the whole. I think most guys kind of know women like to use men for their attention and all this and that bullshit like this. But what I liked about that book was he had the whole complete breakdown on how women like to use men for their attention. Like, it really opened my eyes. I think most guys know women like to put guys into the friend zone, but he really broke it down step by step on how women will use you for your time and your attention. And I liked the way he broke that down. It was a thorough.
Now, this is one of his last videos right here, right? Him thinking that, you know, him getting mad because he can't put out as much as Pearl. So let's see what he said.
We're closer with Clive Owen. Hey, fellas, most of y'all probably already know this or assume that most studio executives, man, they can give a fuck about men. Like, really, seriously.
And you're the same dude. You didn't give a shit about men either. Because you got a guy arrested in India trying Mode 1. Because you didn't know any of the laws over in India. So you're going to hear him trying to sell a script to Hollywood executives and try to say that the manosphere is not sellable in Hollywood, even though we all know that it's feminist. So he wanted to try to get his way into Hollywood and cash his ticket into Hollywood based off all the shit, all the men that he treated like absolute garbage and used.
I said it is four demographic groups. We're the lowest on the totem pole. Here's how movie executives basically look at if they feel like a film is going to be profitable. Is a film going to appeal? If it's a family-friendly film, they care about, is it going to appeal to...
This dude don't know absolute shit. And like I said before, he lived what he lived, and this is him right here. First of all, most Hollywood movies don't make a lot of money anymore because it's feminist garbage now. They can barely pull the numbers they used to in Hollywood. So there's constantly basically showing numbers that none of these movies are actually making real money, because the guys that you make fun of and tell are losers and sell them to self-improve, we're not going to the movies. It's only you particular people that go into the movies. That's why you tell guys to go outside, because you want us to inflate those numbers and waste our money to go out and pay for dates and movies for women, right? We're supposed to be the beta bucks. So we're not doing it now. And you immediately attack us telling us that we need to get our shit together, so we can just give it back to these corporations and women that didn't like us in the first place.
Children of both genders and teenagers of both genders. Children of both genders, teenagers, preteens and teenagers of both genders.
And this dude lived in the past so much that he don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But hey, y'all looked up to this guy who was stuck in the 1940s.
That's mainly a few movies that have been categorized as dark. Number one, and secondly, that was predicted that one go to the manosphere. And they feel like if they were to finance a movie that deals with the manosphere, it's going to kill their chances of earning a profit.
And this is what I'm talking about. Old piece of garbage. Half of these studios have killed their profit. Most of these movies are not making a lot of money anymore because they're SJW garbage. But this guy lives in his fucking head so much that he doesn't even understand anything. Well, that's the reason why he's at where he at now. Instead of him improving himself, instead of him basically doing better about his body, he thought that him being good with women will last forever. And him thinking he know everything will be basically him riding off the failures of men. He didn't see how many billions of dollars that all these studios has lost over the past 6 years pushing dumb woke agenda.
Excuse me. This movie has made approximately $850,000, which means he lost about $150,000. A lot of romantic dramas and romantic comedies on the male end. They never want you to have a character that starts off the movie being a womanizer and ends the movie being a womanizer unless he's a complete asshole jerk type. On the female end.
Wrong. There's movies in Brazilian culture. There's movies in Japanese culture, Korean culture. There's not just American movie. But this guy didn't know that shit. He's stuck here in America. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
You rarely see sex. And Jack, of course, ends up seducing her. He ends up fucking her.
Look at his hand. Look at his hand. Dude, hand is shaking. Why he's trying to tell us about women and talk about shit instead of taking care of his fucking health? Dude, hands is shaking. Yo, how the fuck dare this dude think that he can talk absolutely garbage about men and then take care of his goddamn health? Just like C Boogie, bitch ass, was having sex with an old ass chick, and all the people on that side hit it because nobody wanted him to get exposed for sleeping with a old ass chick.
Or some variants on a woman giving a man dating advice. Again, there's 5 categories.
You stupid piece of garbage. You was a unique person trying to give your advice to every man that think it's going to fit every single man. You got lucky in the time period you got, thinking that you was special when you wasn't. So let's see. That's his last video. That's basically his last video.
When it comes to discussions and debates about marriage, here's what I'm critical of. I'm critical of men who either mislead men into believing that marriage is beneficial for all heterosexual men, 100% of heterosexual men. I'm critical of men who do that. And on the flip side, I'm critical of men who try to act like marriage is definitely detrimental for all heterosexual men.
But on live streams, this piece of garbage was saying stuff about how marriage was beneficial to every man. I was there with those live streams. He was saying this kind of stuff years ago.
Because both are a lie. Both are a lie. If marriage was beneficial for all heterosexual men, not just a percentage of them, but all of them, there would be no such thing as divorce. There would be no such thing as divorce. Particularly men filing for divorce. Particularly men filing for divorce.
And this dude is always he always did this shit when he was alive. Most men don't file for divorce, it's women. This is what, like I said before, man. This guy was the most dishonest piece of garbage that you probably ever seen, along with Kevin Samuels. Hey, people getting rooted out in karma ways.
That would never happen if marriage was something that was beneficial for all heterosexual men. On the flip side, if marriage was detrimental for all heterosexual men, then you would have no man who would be married up until their death, like my father. My father was married up until his death. I've had uncles who were married up until their death. I've had friends closer to my age who might have passed away already that were married up until their death. If marriage...
He predicted his own shit. Dude didn't get married until like 3 years ago, and he was married until his death. Whew. He predicted his own death.
Detrimental for all men, no man would remain married up until his death.
This piece of garbage is talking about a different time period, not today's time period. But hey.
So that squashes both extremes. Marriage is not 100% beneficial for all heterosexual men. And on the flip side, marriage is not detrimental for 100% of all heterosexual men. Here's at least 4 arguments that I've heard against marriage by many men in the manosphere. It really has to do with these 4 things. Number 1, there's a lot of men that are not anti-marriage, period, but they're anti-government sanctioned marriage. Government sanctioned marriage. In other words, they're in favor of what's known as privatized marriage or simply common law marriage. I want to say those two are the same thing. Privatized marriage is the same thing as common law marriage. Yeah, a lot of men are against government sanctioned marriage because they're not a fan of modern day divorce laws. They feel like most divorce laws favor women and most child custody laws favor women. Okay, I'll pause on that point. I'm not an expert in this area, whether it's divorce or child custody, so I don't want to try to act like I am.
No, yes, you did. You tried it before. You did it. You did it back when you was in the manosphere, when you was in the black manosphere. You was arguing to a point that it don't matter if a guy get divorced, he could just man up and whatever. Like, this guy's very, very dishonest, man. Like, I've been on so many live streams where this dude was just talking all types of cash shit about men not wanting to get married and how they cowards and all this other stuff.
So I'm gonna put that out front. I disagree with those. I did at least 1, if not 2 videos where I talked about this before. I disagree with those who say divorce laws favor women. Now, child custody laws, I would for the most part agree with that. Yeah. Most child custody courts do too.
And this dude, even when he was alive, can't really go side against women. When they know it goes, even when a woman is making more money than a guy, they still able to pull and take money from a guy. without kids.
To one reason for me, well, I wanted to get married. I didn't want my son being born out of wedlock. And I know sometimes might leave some people feeling some kind of way. Because I'll admit, and I've admitted this before, if there's one area related to dating relationships, I'm generally a down-to-earth type person, or what I would also call a out of wedlock. She frowned on it. I'm not passing judgment on you. But I've never been down for that. I've never been down for having kids out of wedlock. I've never wanted like multiple baby moms.
And it's a guy who basically, he promoted a lot of guys. He basically created children out of wedlock. And he created single moms. Because he had sex with people's wives and girlfriends. And that caused them to probably leave their wives. Creating single moms. Dude's a fucking hypocrite, man.
I wanted like 3 kids.
So, his legacy stopped here. After a year, or probably 3 months from now, nobody gonna remember him like that. It's the same shit happened with David Carroll. Him talking all his shit. And only a few people remember him. Kevin Samuels, yeah, he was more known. But eventually, like in a year, people gonna forget it. You know, Melanie King tried it. But we might see a new ARC come out the woodwork. Maybe in today's time. I'll try to be just like him. But this video was all about, mainly, is that they can cross the line, but you can't. They can talk shit about you every single day and disparage your name and say all types of egregious shit, but you can't. You gotta play fair while they play dirty. And me exposing all the shit that he said before his passing show what type of man he was. Because like I said before, when you know that you're on death's door, you become humble and you apologize for the shit that you did and said. This nigga act like he was gonna live forever. You know your body. Let me tell you a story. Back in 2017, before I moved to my current place right here, I was gonna die from my asthma because I was in a situation where I was breathing in too much toxic shit. It had nothing to do with my welding. It was something else. And next minute I know, I'm extremely gassed and wheezing, and I barely had any an inhaler at the time. What got me out of the situation and got me out of the of me passing away from my asthma was my breathing techniques that my meditation breathing techniques that I learned how to use without medication. It can get me far. And I just kept breathing. When I was doing all this, I thought I was never going to wake up. I woke up, I lost my voice for a week because my breathing, and I couldn't speak for like high for almost a week or two. After that, I know what I had to do, because years prior to that, probably almost nearly 10 years ago, I decided to wake up every single day and run around the park every day in the summertime and push my lungs to the limit where I would never need the inhaler ever again. And I had the same inhaler for almost 10 years or 10 or 8 years. And not using it all the time. Except when from regular shit when you inhaling gas or some kind of, whatever. That makes your asthma flare up. That's why I don't like perfume, because it flares up my asthma. Well, strong perfume, right? I made sure to take and learn how to do things just in case things went down with my body. This is a guy who so-called knew everything about everyone or everything about women and all this other shit, but he didn't try to do nothing with his body. He talked a lot of shit. And I'm probably not the only one, but I'm probably somebody who's going public that they're happy about this shit. He was the most dishonest piece of garbage out there. And just like the rest of the niggas who held him up there and said rest in peace, they're never going to talk about his flaws. But they let everybody else drag Kevin Samuels out. We all didn't like Kevin Samuels. None of us, well, there was people out there who seen Kevin Samuels in the beginning. Just like we seen ARC in the beginning. He tried to take credit for the manosphere and all this other shit. ARC tried to use the black manosphere and the manosphere in general. And he was basically being left behind. And when Kevin Samuels went up there and basically got like big behind numbers and started getting rich off of his content, it sieved ARC. Him passing away showed you how much money this nigga really had. Because if he did have money, truly had money, and wasn't a broke boy, then he would have kept himself alive. Okay? So it's crazy, right? A guy who claimed to know everything didn't know his own body. And didn't try to stop the inevitable. There's ways you can change your own destiny. But he wanted to talk about incels. But guess what now? All the incels you said that was going to be the next Elliot Rodgers, well, they're not. And well, they're alive. Just like Kevin Samuels talked about men. Well, he's going and, well, they're alive. This is a lesson. Be humble. If you are ahead of people, be humble. Because at some point, if you pass away and something happened to you, guess what? People gonna be dancing on your grave. I don't care how many people are at your funeral and people remember you. You are not gonna go. Nobody's gonna go along with you because you passed away. It's only rare that great men take their followers and fans with them because the people want to join with the person that passed away. So yeah, learn the lesson. Not everybody knows what the fuck they talking about. And also, stop letting these dudes tell you that you can't play dirty just like they playing dirty. You just don't play dirty all the time. You have your playing dirty icons at the top of your head, and then don't play dirty more than a couple times. Play dirty at the right time. Because these niggas are playing dirty every single day when they make videos about men and passport men and all this other shit. When they run out of content, they're going to go right back to talking about incels. And when they make content, they're going to go talking about passport people, passport bros, and SYSBM and all this other shit. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say. Let me get over here real quick. Get over real quick. I had a run-in with your girl. I am Courtney Michelle, right? So this comment right here, I don't really be on this fucking thing. This shit popped up on my news feed. I don't know why. Maybe I clicked on the wrong fucking video that led this shit to be on my feed. But so she said, as soon as they get asked about male challenges, there's dead silences. Dead silence. Either they never thought about what challenge men have to face, or they ever think we face any. I'm especially disappointed with Courtney. I thought she was understand us better than this. Wow. This the same chick who was telling men to go save the community or take their ass back. And every time people asked her, is it wrong to tell men to come back to a community that doesn't really do this and do that? And she couldn't say anything. So I think what I dropped a comment because I was washing clothes. So people been knew this about her. This is why passport bros called her out. As I said, time will expose who they are. No matter what they said, they will always go back to their default settings. I seen this with all of them who talk about black love and all this other shit. So she goes and she deleted her thing. So here we go. I said the same woman talking about shit like this shows who you are. I mean, my fault. Same woman talking about SYSBM or SYCBM shit like this show who you are trying or who you what's it called. This is why SYSBM. This is why men are getting a passport and being SYSBM. This is you, right? And I made a link to the thing. You were saying all this bullshit, but you show you full of it. Here we go. Let's see what she was saying.
What are you doing today to change your mood? Me? 30 minutes ago? I've taken this cannabis.
Let's fix our community. And that goes then it's another hashtag. It's, save your community, black man. We hashtag that. And it's for those that want to fix what we have here. And I am not particularly a woman that is just going to throw away my culture, my identity, my race, my community. I'm willing to fix it. And again, with those...
She willing to fix it. But this is somebody who went back and forth with me. So... And then I called...
Yeah, so that's one major thing, I think. And it was creating a system that women felt like we did not need men and that we can do the exact same thing as men. So I think our mentality is, I don't need you, I want you, meaning I can take care of all the bills. I can...
So she deleted... I'm not lying. This chick deleted all of her... She deleted all of her shit that she was talking shit about towards me. She deleted it where she thought that I was talking to myself. And you can tell that she deleted it because let me have this. You guys are sick. Here we go. She deleted half of her fucking she deleted half of her comments that I can't see now. And when I called her out about what she was saying on other live streams, she deleted those comments so she could pretend like she never said any of these things. I should have screenshot it, but I just screenshotted one, right? So basically, I called her out for basically going to default setting. she got exposed within 1 year, her pretending like she was nice. It's the same shit that I got Jessica Exon when she showed that she was just somebody in the manosphere using everybody. This shit is gold. It's gold. See, I never believed that these people were on your side. I don't believe Pearly Things is on men's side, because she said some over the top shit that I just seen that I'm not gonna make a video about. I ain't gonna be one of the guys that keep making videos about her. But I just let time tells. The fake femcel chick and all these other people that came out acting like they for men or for the community just show what kind of woman she is. She said, I don't think I understand what men... let's see her comment real quick. Let's see her talents real quick, right? So, let's see. Oh, so she took the video down. Comment down about her saying that I'm sick. But you can't get rid of my notification. Dumb idiot. So she said, "You're full." Where's my video at that I got of her saying it? My short. Where's my short at? Where is my short at? There we go. That's why I'm glad it's a screenshot feature. So she said, "You guys are sick. Newsflash, I'm a woman. I never understand men completely because I'm not one." Oh, but you will continue to talk about men who want to stay in the community, and men doing this, and men did this and this and this and that, and blah 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 blah. See, I can break her down easily on every single live stream she have, but I don't want to waste. I really don't. I saw myself forgetting that I was gonna make this video about the whole ARC stuff. So I was like, man, I don't want to put this in the back burner because, probably like 2 days from now, 3 days from now, or whatever, because I'm really focusing on other things. I'll forget it. So I'm like, this is the perfect opportunity. I'm waiting for some packages from Amazon so they can drop it off, and might as well make a video. But this is what she said. You would never understand women because you're not one. But she was constantly talking about take their ass back or whatever she was saying, right? She was on a campaign of thinking she understood men. And she even said, I don't understand, why would you leave your culture and all this other shit? But you was consistently on a tour talking shit, saying all this other shit. I told you they're full of shit, man. But hey, man. This is fun. This is fun. This is fun. So, let me get out of here, man. That's been like almost an hour. I ain't wanted to be that long. But like I said before, man, they draw lines when their favorite people get talked about. But when they go around at people, they use every tactic in the book to make you look bad. From Aaron Fountain, piece of shit ass. From Saint the Blue Sinner and all these other people who talked about passport men, who jump on fucking the young Aaron guy, whatever his name, Aaron Holt or whatever his name is, and go on his comments and go talking shit and all this other shit. They always use dirty tactics against us, but they know we're honorable and we won't use dirty tactics. But guess what? I'm an anti-hero. I'll use dirty tactics on your ass. And I won't feel sorry, not one bit.